Ladies and gentlemen, today is November 11, 2015, and this is the KNKL show. Running in safe mode. Why are we running in safe mode? And why am I looking back up at this camera? It's not there anymore. I'm looking here. Yes, that is right. As you can tell from the dire setting, the apocalypse has indeed set in, and I am transmitting to you from a safe house, a bunker, miles beneath the surface of the earth, and this is the KNKL show. Actually, my last computer just decided to take a dump, and now I have to transmit to you, or basically record this video from my laptop. So what I'm going to be doing today, we're going to be taking it kind of easy. I'm not going to pull up the Facebook. I don't have all the fancy transitions and all that stuff. It's just going to be me talking to you for right now until we get everything settled and figured out. See if I can recover most of the files. I back up most of my files onto my hard drive. And speaking of backing up files, I did back up Violet. Hey, not the crazy latest one, but this is good enough. So we're going to be working on this. Oh, this is the one even before I refine the hand. Oh, why? Oh, well, whatever. You guys get to see me do it over again. Okay, so anyway, I'm just going to be painting this, working on this, and I'm going to be updating you as to what is going on. And yeah, just a couple things. Just keep things a little more low-key today, and we will relax and enjoy ourselves. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we got our good old Photoshop up. So maybe we can talk about today what to do in the event of a giant apocalypse and your computer takes a fat dump. What to do about that? Well, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get back to where this file was originally, right at the beginning, right? And I taught you guys a little bit about working with the brightness and contrast to get your whites, get the whites in your background to the proper brightness, but you don't want to lose too much. You don't want to lose too much of your grays in there, right? You don't want to lose too much of your values. So a good way to gauge this is you select your whites and then make sure you got a 0, 0, and a 100. That means you are at 100% brightness. But then you also want to make sure that in your darks, in your dark colors, you're getting pretty close to black. And then you didn't lose any of the grays and stuff in there, right? Because you don't want to lose that stuff. That's going to come in very handy in the future. Okay, so we got a nice flattened image here, blacks and whites. Now let's go ahead and continue with our drawing. So I'm just going to create a new layer on top of this, and we're going to begin refining. We're going to begin refining back from where we were. And let me start off with a story. All right, guys. So the story is that basically my computer completely just decided to kick the bucket. I had a bad feeling about it for a long time. The hard drive I was using, every time I booted up the computer, it made this really weird, scratchy noise, even from the day that I installed it. It just made this weird scratchy noise, like the needle was literally being dragged across, the little disc that spins around in there. It just sounded terrible, and I was like, ooh, that's probably not good, but I just disregarded it. I was like, whatever. I'm sure it's new technology or something, right? It's new technology, whatever. Let's not worry about that stuff. Let's just get to work. Let's focus on the task at hand and enjoy some work. But unfortunately, it seems that was a problem. So that thing is dead. I'm going to try, like I said, to recover as much data as possible. Luckily, I do have an external drive, and this is a good time to point out that it is always good to have one of these babies right here. Good old external drive that you can back up all your most important, your precious PSD files, all the pages of your comic. Make sure you have one of these. Otherwise, you'll be in some deep doo-doo. Deep doo-doo. Okay. So, but yeah, not to worry. I'm really sorry that I didn't release an episode yesterday, but obviously for reasons that are apparent, I was not able to record. So today, most of my day was spent mourning the loss of my computer, wondering how I was going to continue living, and then setting up my laptop and deciding, hey, you know what, I can still at least I can boot up in safe mode. I mean, figuratively speaking, my laptop is working just fine, but I can boot the show in safe mode, and we can just go from there. So yeah, I'm just kind of talking to you guys today, kind of relaxing. You guys can see a little bit more of my line sculpting technique, and look at that. I'm actually painting with grays. I taught you guys not to do this a couple of weeks ago, but with my new sketch lifting technique, which was in last week's episode, you can now paint in whatever color you want without fear of it wrecking the whole thing. So let's go ahead and just continue with that. So one thing that I was working on right before my computer crashed was I was fixing the folds in this jacket here. I was fixing the folds in this jacket. Oh, and don't you love that? This is This is one of the first things that I always turn off in Photoshop. Like, I don't like this. Like the panning, the what do you call this? The fluid pan, the slip and slide pan. I don't like it. I always turn it off. But because this is not the usual computer that I work on, some of my preferences and settings are just a little bit off, just a tad bit off. But that's okay. That is okay. But you know, the other thing that I've learned to do, right, is that in dire times like this, where it's easy to just kind of lose it, you feel like everything's falling apart, you feel like your show is dying, the apocalypse has started, it's best to just not worry. Don't stress, okay? Even though it's so easy to. It's so easy to. But lately I've just been feeling like I almost got like tired of being stressed out, because over the last few weeks, I'll be honest with you guys, I have been really stressed out. I've been stressed out about like living in this new house. My little brother just got a new dog, so we're like training the freaking thing to like go to the bathroom outside, and it's like crapping on the carpet, and it's like gotta clean it up and training it, and like just all the stuff of like balancing work and creating stuff like this, you know, like working on these pictures for you guys and for myself, right? It's more for me, like having time to do personal work, making the show, making the comic. All these things are just real. I feel like it all came to a head and it just exploded. And then I just like, and then on top of that, my computer was feeling the same way. It just decided to explode all over the place. And now it's dead, right? And my brain did a similar thing. But, you know, what's interesting is when you have a meltdown like that, when your computer, your hard drive has a meltdown, or your organic hard drive, right? I'm talking about your brain. When your organic hard drive has a meltdown, there's always a point where you just kind of reset, right? There's a part where you just kind of reset, you boot in safe mode, and then you ask yourself a couple really important questions. And I know that this is, I said I was taking a break from Thoughtfuls, but you guys are getting a Thoughtful today, okay? Because we're sketching, we're doing Thoughtfuls, we're doing whatever the heck we want today, okay? So there's a point where you realize it's like, hey, you know what? I think that I have been stressing out a little bit too much over all this crap, right? And I need to just kind of take a breather, I need to take a break, take a step back, and realize all of the good things that are really going for me right now. And how actually the stuff that I'm worrying about is probably not that big of a deal in the first place, right? I was worried about, you know, people being disappointed that the show didn't come out yesterday. But it's like, I guarantee you, I mean, those of you who watch the show, I really do love it, but admit it. Like, if you tuned in yesterday or looked at my YouTube channel yesterday and saw there wasn't a video there, you're probably ticked off for like maybe like 5 seconds. You're like, okay, well, I'll probably go do something else. You know, and that goes back to something I was talking about earlier, where it's like, you know, just people are so wrapped up in their own problems in their own lives that they just don't have time for you, right? They don't have time for your own problems. They don't have time for that stuff. So if you're worried about like disappointing people, just kind of don't worry about it, right? Just stuff it, because everybody else is kind of thinking the same thing. Everybody else is all wrapped up in their own problems, or they're afraid of disappointing somebody else. So trust me, like nobody really cares about that stuff. And it's a very liberating thing. It's a very liberating thing to say. It sounds a little negative, but it's very liberating, because it is actually, because then you realize that, hey, your life and your problems are all your own. You know, whether you decide to fix those or not, nobody's really going to care. So, you know, if you make an episode of your show, people will like it and you'll like it, right? But if you don't, then, you know, they'll go find something else. They'll go find something else to do. You know, so the best thing for me to do, I realized, was just to relax. And when I booted up my computer today and I saw that it just wasn't going to work, basically what it was doing was it was going to, I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen this, but it goes to the login screen, right? On Windows 7. It goes to the login screen, but strangely the login never appears. It's just the screen. It's just the backdrop, but the login thing never appears. You can't type in anything, and then eventually it just starts flashing on and off, on and off, on and off. So I don't know what that is, but I'll just see if I can figure it out. I do have some PC repair shops. I'm sure they've handled that problem before. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. But in the meantime, I'm just relaxing, trying to take it easy, giving me some time to think. But similarly, talking about, oh wait, I eventually redid this area here. This was not, originally this was going to be like frilly, kind of like fabric going across the boobs here. But I eventually changed this. Now it is just a piece of lighter leather, but it is not frills. I didn't like the way the frills looked. So we're ditching those. Ditching those, going for gray. Going for gray here. There we go. But yeah, it just gave me time to realize that, you know what? I have actually let my priorities in life have been a little bit messed up. My priorities in life have been just a little bit messed up. I was so concerned about like not wanting to disappoint other people, and like I'm sure many of you guys can relate with this, right? Have you ever like wanted to prove something, or right, or like you had a plan and you just wish that people would believe in you, right? Now I'm gonna turn on the cam for this one. This one's getting personal right here. Have you ever had a plan and you just wanted people to believe in you so badly, and it's like you don't even believe in yourself? And here's where the problem starts. It's like you have this plan, you want to do something, right? You want to create something, but because you don't believe in it, anything that anybody says that sounds like it's like them mocking you or thinking that you're gonna fail, or even somebody that genuinely wants to help, you still take that as like, oh, well, if they believed in me, if you believed in me, I wouldn't need your help. I wouldn't need your help. So you know what? You can just go away. And then you push those people away that are trying to help you. And then it eventually ends up harming the relationship. Well, this is basically what was happening with me, right? I wanted to be able to balance my work. I wanted to balance my comic. I wanted to balance my relationships and balance my home and my family. And I was trying to do all of this alone, and I wasn't fully confident about me being able to do it myself. And even worse, the people that were trying to help me with it, I was pushing them away because I thought that they were not believing in me, or they doubted me, right? Nobody likes being doubted. But it's really interesting how once I had a time to think about it, I realized that I was actually doubting myself and that I needed to fix that first, right? And I needed to understand that it is okay to ask for help, because it's not a sign of weakness. It's just a sign of, hey, look, I understand that I do need help sometimes. And if there's people that are going to help me and want to, then I need to accept that. As you guys out there have decided to help the show. And it really means a lot. It really, truly means a lot. And that's why I said to myself, I was like, look, because I was like, I didn't even know if I wanted to make this show, because it was like, I mean, look at how crappy the quality of this video is. It's like so bad. But I realized, it's like, look, the people that watch the show, the people who have supported it, especially on Patreon, it's like, you guys have shown me that you're very serious, right? And if you guys are serious about supporting the show, then I need to be serious about making it. And if you guys believe in the show, then I need to believe in myself. And I need to believe that what I'm doing, you guys really enjoy it. So anyway, with that sentimental note aside, hey, it's November. It's time for some thankful thoughts, right? If we're sitting around the dinner table, that's what I'd be saying to you guys right now. I'm thankful for you guys out there. I'm thankful for all you viewers who like to tune in and watch this type of stuff. And I'm sorry that today is not quite as, the quality level is not quite what you're expecting or not what you're used to. But I figured you guys deserved it. You guys deserve to know what's going on. You deserve a thoughtful, for those of you who like the thoughtfuls. And you deserve a sketch. Almost more like a live show. Almost more like a live show. And it actually does feel good. It does feel really good. So anyway, and you deserve some boobies, right? You deserve some boobies. So that's why I'm painting some boobies. Painting them real good. Love it. Love it. All right, Violet, look, you're looking so good. Looking good, girl. Okay, let's see. So this gray, shoot, I totally forgot if this gray was supposed to be, oh yeah. Her cloth, the cloth parts of her are supposed to be dark, right? And then these leather parts are supposed to be darker. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. So anyway, we'll go for about like 10 minutes longer. Go for about 10 minutes longer, and then we'll call it good. So it is 4:47 right now. Let's go ahead and go for 10 minutes more. And then we're going to call it good, people. We're going to call it real good. Now let's see. Wait a minute. Is this... This is also light. Yeah, this is supposed to be light. Okay, cool. Awesome. But anyway, yeah, I wonder how you guys are doing out there. I hope you guys are excited for Thanksgiving. I hope you're excited to go hang out with your families. Excited for if you're living in a place like Utah, a little bit up north. You might be getting some snow soon, and I personally love snow. I love it when it snows here. I love the change of seasons. I haven't been snowboarding in a long time, but I'll tell you what, I think this year is going to be the one. I think it's time for me to get back out there, do some more snowboarding. I love that stuff. But more than anything, I really do enjoy the changing of the seasons. It just reminds me that, you know, just like life, things are always changing. Things are always changing. Things are going good. You know, you're in the summer of your life, you're in the spring of your life, and then all of a sudden, your computer takes a crap. And then you're in the winters. You're in the winters, the harsh winters. It's snowy and cold and nasty, and you don't want to go outside, but you have to take your dog to go to the bathroom. And all that fun stuff, right? New challenges, new changes. And I feel like that is kind of what's happening right now. I feel like there's some changes going on. Changes going on outside, changes going on inside. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. I sure am enjoying this. It feels good to be, you know, it almost feels like a live show, you know? It feels good to be doing this again. Just kind of hanging out, doing one of these things, not really worrying so much about, is there a tutorial? What am I trying to teach? I'm not trying to teach anything. I'm just painting, and you know what? Maybe the teaching will be done by you guys. Maybe you guys will teach yourself just by watching. Just by watching. In fact, I have a feeling that's exactly what's going to happen. A lot of you guys are going to be like, this is amazing. Why don't you just do this more? Why don't you just cast from your crappy little webcam, your crappy little laptop webcam, and then just stream yourself drawing and flap your gums all you want. It's like, combine the two. Don't stop Thoughtful Thursdays. Just do them while you're sketching. You know, I didn't think about that. But that's what you're getting today. Oh, and by the way, you can see this is my awesome like wall setup. It looks so barren now because usually I have the camera pointed so it looks all full, but it's actually just a small space behind me, and it is an illusion. But you weren't supposed to see that. But if you're watching this one, then hey, there you go. Secrets have been revealed today. Secrets have been revealed. So anyway, I'm just kind of taking it easy, and I'm really happy that I did figure out how to do this black and white kind of setup here, because it really is so much more free. Like painting blacks and whites is so much more free as opposed to trying to work. Because normally what I do, like I said, you guys know for those of you who have been watching the show for quite a while, you know that my usual technique is to draw and then I flip my stylus back and forth. I draw and erase. And so, yeah. But now I don't do that because I figured out an easier way, a way easier way to eventually, and here I'll show you guys how I do it. In fact, one of my viewers, Ty Grenier, Mr. Tiger, showed me a really cool way. I'm just gonna call him Mr. Tiger. Okay. Sorry if you don't like that nickname, Ty. Too late. You're Tiger now. I'm sure that's not the first time you've gotten that. Ty Grenier showed me a really cool way to basically do what I showed you last week in like 3 steps. Okay. So I'm painting in black and white, right? And then eventually what we're going to do is we're going to go to our channels, right? Channels. And then you have this red, green, blue. But then there's this magical button right down here. What could that button possibly do? Well, let's click it. Boom. Hey, let's go ahead and go back to our layers. It just selected something, but I don't know what it is. Let's go ahead and delete everything. Or let's turn everything off. Set our background to, wait, oh, whoops, I know why that did that. Okay, so anyway, let's create a new layer, and let's go ahead and fill that selection and see what it is. Oh, look at that. Wait, it's the reverse of what we're trying to get. So here's what you do. Go back to that selection, and before you fill it, hit Shift-Control-I, and that's going to invert your selection and then fill it. Look at that. Now what you've done is you just lifted your sketch. You lifted that sketch. Look, I'll even turn off the background so you can see what I did. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, Tiger, you are amazing. Thank you so much. You guys, you saved me so much time on that. I will be redoing this. I'll probably be doing an addendum eventually to this, but I mean, this is just so awesome. I love being able to do that. Painting in black and white, and then doing that selection trick, laying it down, and then automatically you have alphas built into your line art. So super awesome. But for right now, we'll get to that again later. Let's focus on the task at hand, and that is drawing. So another reason why I like to draw in layers is because this is really fun to do. I always like to turn on and off the layers, right? Look at how much progress we've made. Look at how much we've smoothed out the original kind of sketchiness of this piece. And I like to turn this on and off just to kind of see what we're doing here. See how we're like cleaning up the values. We're making things more clear, making the materials look nicer, softer, shinier, making everything look good. So we like that. Yes, we do. We like that very much. Very much. And this is supposed to be more gray, so I'm going to make this even more gray. This is supposed to be more gray, so you can guess that I'm going to cough and it will magically become more gray. There we go. All right. But yeah, it's feeling a little bit, I mean, I'm happy that I'm doing this. Happy that I decided to just go ahead and do this, but I was a little bit, I don't know what the word is. Embarrassed, you could say. I'm a bit embarrassed that this happened to me. A bit embarrassed that my computer took a dump and now I have to cast in this way. But then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? Screw it. Who cares? It's like, let's just do it. Just do the dang show. Just do the dang show, okay? Nobody cares. They just want to see something. They just want to see something. And I know how that is because I think of all the people that I love to watch on YouTube and it's like, I don't care if they even just released a video of them just talking. Like, I really, really like that person. So I just try my best to imagine that people out there like to watch me and that I should just do a video anyway, even if it's with this crappy webcam, even if it's on this, kind of safe mode setup. And hey, look at that. It's turning out awesome. It's turning out great. Hope you guys are enjoying this because I sure am. Having a good time. Let's go ahead and clean up this sleeve. Clean up this gauntlet thingy. I imagine she'll have kind of like one of these design type things. Something like that. And maybe a little design in here. Like that. Someone's been texting me this whole time. I usually am more apt to look at my text during a live stream because that's usually when people like text me and say like, hey, your mic's been muted this whole time, right? And I'm checking that to make sure that's not the case. And it's not. It actually is going good right now, so that's good. I'm really happy. I was actually really freaked out for a second because I looked at the mic. And it wasn't moving, right? But it's just really sensitive, right? You guys can hear this, right? Okay, good. Good, we are good. Okay, so let's see here. So the next thing that I want to do is, let's start wrapping this up. So one thing that I really wanted to do before we end is I want to clean up this face, this head bandana. It's sticking up a little bit too far for my tastes. So let's go ahead and bring that back just a tad. Let's go ahead and bring that back just a tad, like that. Let's have it pointing back like that. Hey, that looks nice. I like that. Let's make that nice and dark. Whoops! She kind of has an Emma shark fin. She has a shark fin just like Emma. Maybe there's a correlation there. Or maybe I just made that up to mess with you. I don't know. Who knows? Also, these little braid things, I wanted to change these. I wanted to move them up more to right there. It's got these little braid beads going on right here. So let's go ahead and fix those. Cool. I really do love this character, though. Really excited to reveal it. Really excited to reveal it in the comic. Very excited to do that. I mean, this is kind of like a reveal, I know, but it's like a realistic portrait of her, right? She's gonna look different in the comic, obviously, but and she's coming up soon. She's coming up soon. Don't you worry. She's coming up very soon. And for those of you who don't know what comic I'm talking about, it's Emma, the online comic. So I know some of you, this may be the first. Heaven forbid this is the first show that you ever watch, but in case you are, I have a comic online, and it's called Emma. Little Girl versus The Walking Dead. So you guys can check that out. If you'd like. If you'd like. I just spent my entire life making it, you know. I had undying devotion to creating it. And if that sounds interesting, then you should go check it out. All right, so those beads look so much better. Much, much better. There we go. Let's round those off. All righty, ladies and gentlemen. So let's call that good. Oh, wow, that looks amazing. I love it. Oh, yeah, I'm liking this already more than the old version. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh. I'm so thankful. I know this sounds funny, but there's been a few times where I've lost files, right? And I kid you not, like it's probably like 5 minutes. It's probably like 5 to 15 minutes worth of work. And if I lose it and I have to go to an older version of my file, of my PSD, it just feels so wrong. It feels so bad. I'm just like, it was so perfect and I'll never be able to make it like that again. But then of course I spend the 5 minutes and I just do it over again. I'm like, you know, that actually looks kind of nice. I don't even know if it is better than the old one. You know, it's like you totally forgot what the old one looks like, but you know, it's like this is actually better than the old one. And then you're almost glad that it happened. You're almost glad that you had to go back to the old file. So that's kind of how I'm feeling right about now. And you know what else I'm feeling grateful for? I'm grateful for you guys. Like I said, thank you guys once again for joining. This is me signing off. This will be up on YouTube, so thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't. My name is Ken Lafferty. Again, I usually do my sponsors. I don't have them available, but I will say their names. Laura Bashir, Nonplussed, and David Chiariello. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show, as well as all the other amazing people on Patreon. I usually have a link up here, but instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say click this if you want to go to Patreon and support the show. Totally voluntarily. But it's people like you guys that keep me going, keep the lights on at night. And probably a major reason why I did this show today, because, like I said, you guys are serious, and I'm serious about making this for you guys. So thank you guys so much. You guys take care. Have a great week, rest of the week, and I'll see you next Tuesday. And, you know, worst case scenario, we'll just keep doing them like this for a little while. We'll keep working on Violet. We'll do a little live stream, thoughtful, whatever you guys like. And I will talk to you guys soon. And until then, take care. Oh, yeah, and I don't have my awesome outro music, so I'll have to do it myself. Okay, that's good. Ba-ba-ba-bum. The end. Thank you for tuning in to the KNKL show. Safe mode. Episode 269. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys like my amazing singing. That was just for you. Just for you.